Your code sucks? Let's fix it. Today we're going to be looking at strings with one of the easiest mistakes anyone can make working in any language, adding two strings together wrong. Here I have a string s that's going to be assigned the value hello, and then we append onto it the string world, and then what we expect after this is that s is going to be equal to the string hello world. Nothing surprising there. Here's the problem though. This code is absolutely horrible and it's kind of hard to see why. The main reason is that strings are what are called immutable. Here, immutable means that you cannot change the string after creation. We can look up characters in the string s by using the square bracket operator, but we cannot change them. You may think, well, what are you doing here when you're appending world onto s? So it actually pays to think about what this plus equal operator actually does. It creates a brand new string. So in fact, we have three strings. The original string hello, which is what s is. We have world, obviously, which is a string in and of itself, but also the addition of the original hello and world, which is a brand new string. Now you may think, what is the possible problem with this? The problem is if you're going to be adding a lot of different strings together. Let's suppose that I have a list of different strings, such as the numbers 1 through 100,000. This is a realistic scenario that I actually encountered when I was an undergrad student. Let's put all the strings in a list L together, and I want to concatenate everything in L all into one gigantic string for outputting to a file, for example. Maybe what we want is to have each of these numbers on a separate line. One way to do this is to loop over every single string in L and then append onto an existing string. I create an empty string at the beginning and do exactly this appending here. What we will get is one string with one, then a new line, then two with a new line, etc. The problem is that we are using plus equals here initially. So initially, result is the empty string. Then we're going to be creating one plus the new line character, so that's one new string. Then we're going to add it onto result, which is yet another string. We're going to assign back into result. And then when 2 comes along, we're going to have 2 plus a new line, which will be appended onto what already exists in the string. You can see that this is going to get worse and worse. Now you may think, well, we have 100,000 things in here, so therefore this isn't really a big deal because we're just making brand new strings every single time. The problem is how big result is going to be. So if we're making a brand new string every single time, that means we have to copy all of the contents in the original string over in order for the string to actually be created properly because strings are immutable. The amount of memory allocated across the iterations will be on the order of 100,000 squared bytes, which is horrendously expensive. We can use the join method on strings, which takes in a list of strings and puts the given string in between each element of the list strings. This join method is being called on the string object itself, which means that all of the code inside of the string class can access all of the internal state of the string and can figure out how big the resulting string is going to be without having to make additional strings in the process. My recommendation: don't use plus when concatenating strings. Use join whenever possible. It's faster, more maintainable, and is more beautiful.